Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday, the start of a brand new week. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome all. I'm going to wait for you all to join. We're talking about generational wealth this morning, something that's been on my heart recently and definitely the source of lots of conversation in my family and my household. So my heart is full and ready to serve, ready to share my thoughts with you on this and just leave you with a few things for you to think about. So as you're joining us, good morning. Hello, Kiki, Thashna, good morning. All right, I want to preface this conversation by saying I know that a lot of people, especially us women of my age, one of the things that we've heard our entire lives is this idea of creating generational wealth and leaving a legacy. And we look at the people that we admire, families that we admire who are of great wealth, and it's something that we aspire to. We want to be, in a position to leave our next generation and the generations to come in a better position than we found it. And that is admirable, and I'm all for it. Except one of the things that I have found for me personally, and you can tell me if you can relate, and this is especially for those of us who have children, it feels like a lot of pressure. It feels like a lot of shoulds. This is what you should do. If you're responsible and if you're a good parent, you should be thinking about generational wealth. You should be preparing for it. That should be your legacy. And I want to have a bigger conversation this morning. And I want to put a little twist on this whole generational wealth because not that I want to let us off the hook. However, I do want to suggest and kind of put out there a whole new twist, a whole new way of looking at generational wealth. And here's the thing, whether you have children or not, one of the things that when we were together with the goddesses in DR, in Dominican Republic, a few weeks ago, one of the things that I challenged the goddesses was, you know what? While we're here, let's do all we can do to have wealth with ease. Let's be about it, right? And let's also, as a goddess, hold ourselves to the standard that says, how are you leaving humanity changed? One of my most favorite mentors that I've been blessed in my life to experience her thoughts was when she said her mission was simply to leave the world a better place than she found it. That was it. And she's made a lot of money and she's helped a lot of other people make a lot of money, right? And it was a simplicity of that. My mission is to leave the world a better place than I found it. And so I want to issue that thought, that challenge, that little nugget to everyone here. I feel like we have a lot of thank yous to say to generations prior to ours, right? They did the work. We've had the Industrial Revolution, we're in all kinds of revolutions that we've experienced in our lifetime, or we're benefiting from because the generations before us, they left the world a better place than they found it. And we benefited. So for us, I want us to be thinking, how can we leave the world a better place, whether we have children or not? And especially if you have the ability to influence children in your household, then I want you to listen in tight for this conversation. But everyone gets to consider the things that I'm going to share with you this morning, right? So I want us to reframe or consider reframing instead of generational wealth. How about if we think of it as how can we create wealth, a wealth legacy for generations to come? How can we create a wealth legacy for generations to come, both financial and non-financial? Because wealth is not only about money. It's not only about dollars and cents and currency, right? There are a lot of people who are wealthy and yet very poor. So I want us to think about, if we're going to go for this idea of generational wealth, to reframe it to, I want to leave a wealth legacy for generations to come. My contribution, the fact that I got to be here in this lifetime, what I want to do for the next generation is I want to leave the world in a way that they have a wealth legacy. because I was here, right? So here we go. I'm going to jump in, and um, I want to encourage you to think about that question from the place of, when it comes to your own wealth creation journey, what are some of the things you would have wanted from your parents? What are some of the things that you would have wanted from your parents? That is like the easiest place to start, because you get to contribute out into the world whatever it is that you felt you never got, right? We can stay forever in blaming our parents, or we can choose to go, and now here is my chance to do it differently. So I want to share, I had in my notes 5 ways, but I actually, as I was getting ready this morning, I thought of a sixth. So you're getting a fast extra one this morning, right? Here is my number one wealth legacy that I want to leave for generations to come. I want to leave a wealth legacy of deservingness. I want to speak it. I want to I want to demonstrate it. I want to be it. I want to do all the things so that the generations to come do not have to suffer and struggle in their own journey, financial and non-financial, when it comes to wealth. I want, for me, and I'm hoping this will inspire you, number one, that we embody deservingness in such a way that, it's kind of like how my son doesn't know what a VCR is and doesn't know what a video cassette is, doesn't know what a cassette tape is. He has no idea, right? And yet that's what I grew up on. Well, I want, when we ask the next generation about a lack of deservingness, that they just don't even know what that means. Like they can't compute, right? Because we eradicated it. That to me is a massive wealth legacy, right? To impart on the next generation to come the concept that you deserve wealth. It is your birthright. You deserve it, and you deserve it with ease. The second way that we can impart a wealth legacy for generations to come is to begin to have wealthy conversations with the next generation. So again, whether it's your niece and nephews, a kid you just see, as you're going about your life and you happen to be able to have a conversation with someone of the next generation, whether it's your own child, really, I feel like one of the things that I am passionate about is inviting the next generation to have wealthy dreams, to encourage them. What are some of the things that I see a lot of the women that I serve struggling with, is that they did not grow up in households where they were encouraged to dream. Or if they had dreams and they shared them, they were ridiculed. They were made to feel bad about the dreams that they had. They were told, it's not possible, it's not for us. One of the things that I offered to my son in a conversation yesterday was, before you all go back to school, how about you and your friends come over and we'll get wings and pizza, and let's talk about your dreams. Let's talk about where you guys want to go. And I am like, I got to have my son on here. Seriously. Like, my daughter is amazing, and my son is equally like out of this world. When he just casually tells me about the conversations that him and his friends naturally have, I know I've done my part for that next generation, because he just naturally speaks about wealth and wealth creation and big dreams, and that is his mission in life, is to, as is mine, to fully actualize, right? To he says it, to continuously improve, right, in all areas of his life. And that's because I've fostered wealthy conversations in our household. Tell me your wildest dreams, I'll tell you mine, right? So that's number two. And listen, yes, I have kids at home, but I've been in all kinds of setting with kids. And I've always, I can ask them about, how are you doing in school? I choose to ask them, what are your dreams? What is your wildest dreams? Right? And to impart on them what I wish I would have gotten more of. The third one is to encourage, teach, and model a positive wealth mindset. Encourage, teach, and the last one, model a positive wealth mindset. Again, so many of us, as we're on our wealth creation journey, the thing that we're up against is that we have generations of negativity and limitation around wealth. And here we come trying to undo 5 generations of this type of thinking, right? And it's just an uphill battle. So for me, I want to eradicate that pattern. I want to model, encourage, and instill a positive wealth mindset. We always say the rich stay rich. Do you know why the rich stay rich, my friends? Do you know why? Because they, in their natural states of being with their family, they model a positive wealth mindset. I was reading a book. Marcella Williams told me about this book. I cannot remember the name of it, but it was really to explain the Jewish culture and their wealth. And it was phenomenal. I haven't finished it, but you know how I am. Like, I get it. Like, I got the gist in like the first couple of chapters, right? And what I got was that one of the things that they do is they practice doing business with each other in that culture. They practice keeping their money in within their culture. They also encourage children to be positive about their futures and their careers and encourage them to go seek professional careers, right? And it's all just around, I mean, I've known a lot of amazing Jewish families in my lifetime, and I truly, hands down, just look at them in complete admiration because there is something to their culture. And I truly believe that one of the greatest things that they have really mastered is that positive wealth mindset. Say what you want about it, but it's just facts, right? And so all of us can do that. No matter what culture we're from, we can all model that and we can all start in our homes. So that's number 3. Number 4, this is one of the things that I have noticed has created a massive difference in my children when it comes to the wealth legacy that I am leaving them with. Instead of gifts, I always, at a certain age, I started to give them books. And not instead of gifts, but maybe in addition to gifts, right? So it'd be a birthday. Like last year for my son's birthday, I did a video and I literally gave him an entire box of maybe 10 books. I was able to give him the 10 books because the Christmas before, or 2 Christmases ago, I bought him a book about a rapper. It was like a rapper talking about how he had created wealth, right? And built his fortune. And it had a very catchy title. And it was very something my son would be intrigued and interested in. So he read it and he was just like set on fire, right? Because that's something that would interest him. If I would have given him Tony Robbins at the start, he would have been like, whatever, who's this dude, right? But the rapper, even though he didn't necessarily know his music or follow him, the fact that he was cool got my son interested enough to read the book. And now he is like hooked. You should see his bedroom. It is like he's probably halfway to the number of books that I have, right? And so I think that one of the things is that really opens up your child's mind to what's possible outside of you saying, right? They get a window into possibility for wealth creation. They have their own journey that they're on, and their own minds are going to come up with the ways to create their wealth. But if I can just continuously encourage and support the window of possibility, everything is possible. Look what this person did, and this person did, and this person did, and look at all these people that have done all these things, and you can do it too. And read about how they do it so you come up with your own ideas, right? So um, I strongly encourage you to think about doing that, right? This is not necessarily you going, all right, I'm going to leave my kid, I'm going to do everything I can to leave my kids $5 million. No, I'm going to show my kids how they can create their own 5 million, right? That is a powerful legacy, which brings me to, this was not one of my 5, but it ties into this. And it is, I was having this conversation with my daughter recently, and then a friend of mine, who we have very similar positions around raising kids. And so we were talking about what we've learned as parents. And I said to him, if I could go back the one place that I saw I crushed it on raising my kids to be successful academically. I crushed it on helping them to find a sport, so they could go do their thing and just like work on the support the physical well-being for themselves. But the one area that I look back and I was not as intentional on, and my daughter will say, "No, mom, you really were." And I'm like, "No, I know better. I know what I should have done." And I see that I was so focused on the academic success and I was so focused on all the other areas that this was a place, if I could go back in time, my legacy to my children would have been more focused on their self confidence, their certainty, their knowing that they are going to succeed, period, no matter what, and to give them the responsibility to create that success for themselves, right? I have a chance with my son. I've got literally another year of him being at home, and I'm all on it. My husband and I are like, we're on this, right? We're sending him out into the world fully adapted, fully confident, fully certain that he can create the wealth and success and whatever life he wants on his own, right? So that I feel for me, like I can still hopefully impress that with my daughter, but I got my son still here and I got one more year. Those of you that have younger kids, I just want to encourage you, please take it from me. Be intentional about filling your kids with the certainty and the confidence of who they are and what they can create in life. Okay. I see all kinds of people over here sharing notes. So I'll go back. And Deanna says, start early and do it often. That's my motto. Number 6, the most important one, I've saved it for last. I'm going to tell you this as a parent and observing other parents. Children will not listen to what you say because they are so busy watching what you do. Children will not listen to what you say because they are so busy watching what you do. If you want to make yourself achieve a goal, tell your kids you're going to do it and watch. They're going to keep, Mom, I thought you said we were going to move into that house. Mom, I thought you said we were going to be a millionaire. Mom, right? They are going to come at you with those goals more than any other thing you can do to achieve it. And here is why this is the most important legacy, wealth legacy that you can leave for your kids. You want to keep your word on your wealth creation. Keep your word on your wealth creation. If you said you're going to do it, do it. Keep your word. That is the most powerful thing that you can do for the next generation, and especially if they're your kids. Not because you want to leave them millions, but because you want to model to them that I said I was going to do it and I did it. And for me, my kids being able to see that helps them to know they can do it. If they say they're going to do it, they can do it. And so all of the things that we've had to work through in our lifetime, we've had to overcome so that we can create our wealth with ease. We get to leave them with less of that burden just because we showed them that we said we were going to do it and we did it. Right? So, hey, Rudy. Yep. Kids will absolutely keep you accountable. So those are my 6 things that I want to share with you. If you notice, really 5 of them are non-financial. And the last one is really just about you doing it for your word, not necessarily because you want to leave all this money to your kids and leave them entitled, but because you want to show them in your own being and doing that it can be done. All right. Okay, someone's typing. Oh, here we go. So I'll repeat them to you. Number 1, there are 6 of them. Number 1, deservingness. Leave a rich history of deservingness. Eradicate a lack of deservingness in your family and for the next generation to come. Have wealthy conversations that encourage their dreams. Ask them about their dreams. Invite them to talk about it. Tell them, like, why don't you dream bigger, right? Keep encouraging dreams. Number 3, encourage them, teach them, and model for them how to have and maintain a positive wealth mindset. Always be saying, you can do it. You can do it. It can be done. You can do it. Right. Number 4, give them books in addition to gifts, or instead of gifts sometimes, or just random books. Number 5, build their confidence and their certainty. That is one of the greatest things that you can do, is to instill in your child, if for nothing else, if not even, financial wealth, emotional wealth. One of the things that I know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs is you got your basic needs and then you got your emotional needs. Well, if someone does not feel emotionally safe in themselves, you can't move on to the next levels, right? So the best thing that you can do, see, we've been taught that, teach your kids how to succeed academically so they can get to making the most money that they can. But the reality is, if they're not confident in themselves, even if they make money, they're going to struggle with self-esteem, self-confidence, certainty, and it's just like, it's not going to be the kind of fulfilling life that we all would want for our kids. And then the last one is to keep your word and model what it's like to say you're going to create wealth and then do it. Okay? We have to be their examples. Yes. All right. So the last thing that I will say is, I told you all last week to type the word events. Now I'm going to tell you raw numbers just because it's intriguing. So 120 people typed the word event last week. And the reason why I ask you to type events is that we have created a new system where once you type event, every time we have something new, you are going to get notified. So you're not having to type a new word for every single thing that's coming on. When's the podcast? When's the next activation? When's your next live? If you type event, it gets you registered to find out about everything. So I'm going to ask you now, go ahead and type event. But here was what happened with the numbers that was so interesting. I'm putting it there. Type the word event. What was so interesting was 120 people typed the word event, and then 60 people clicked the link in Messenger. So maybe I need to be clear. So I'm going to do that today. When you type the word event, check Facebook Messenger, and then you have to say, yes, I want to be registered in the system to be notified of everything, right? You also have to go to Facebook Messenger and then click the link. So type the word event if you didn't do it last week, and then you want to check Facebook Messenger. That's the only way you're going to get in the system. And the reason why is, for example, in the middle of August, not on a Monday, I'm going to have an amazing guest speaker talking about wealth and love. And those of you that are in this community and you want to have your love area of your life be wealthy, you want to come listen to this woman. She is like all the things when it comes to relationships, self-love, manifesting the relationship of your dreams. But it's going to be on a Thursday when you're not used to coming on here, right? So for you, in order for you to know all the things and be on top of everything, we've got an activation, 5-day activation coming up very soon. You want to type the word events, check Facebook Messenger, get registered so that you're in the know. Okay? Mwah. That's it. I love you all. Go have a wonderful Monday. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you.